What's going on, guys? It's SketchUp here once again, bringing you another sort of character breakdown video. I'm going to be focusing on Inferno Scorpion this time. It's really going to be sort of off the back of previous Inferno videos where people have asked, basically, what is the gist of Inferno? How does his mix-up work? What are his options? How do you implement them? But also, how do you defend against them? So this is going to be just a quick little video talking about a very quick overview on Inferno Scorpion. Because I kind of underestimate how many people are new to Mortal Kombat in X and aren't aware that Scorpion has basically always had this teleport heavy mix-up off the teleport playstyle. He had it in Mortal Kombat 9, he had it in Injustice, and he has it, to the nth degree in Mortal Kombat X. And a lot of people know that this is Scorpion, but those that are new to the franchise won't really know that. So, it's kind of my bad for just assuming that everyone knows his rushdown options, but it's a new game, new set of players, new mindsets and everything. So let's get started. His mix-up is going to come from his back 3, which is a low, his forward 2 or his forward 4, which both hit overhead. So the mix-up you're going to force on your opponent is the low option of back 3 or the overhead of forward 2 or forward 4. So they're the things that you're going to be forcing your opponent to block, but the only way you're going to be able to force them into that situation is to implement the plus frames on a teleport. So if we go on the move list real quick, his teleport is plus 18 on hit, as you can see the hit advantage there, and then we're going to go on variation and go down back 1, which is the minion charge. It says it's plus 4, but I'm fairly certain it is much more plus than that. But basically, after hitting this or this, I am plus. I can move before the opponent can. So implementing his mix-up options is going to be from comboing into teleport and then forcing them to block one of these offensive options afterwards. So I can go 2-1 teleport, back 3, 2-1 teleport, forward 4 or forward 2. And that's going to be the kind of the mix-up that Scorpion can have. I can always do teleport into a grab as well if I know they're going to be blocking the overhead or low option, but that's just, that is the general gist of it. So how do I force this mix-up onto my opponent? It's very, very simple. You're going to make sure that you combo into your stun, being the low minion grab or the spear. You combo into them as late as you possibly can. And then when you land your stun, combo into jumping punch 2-1 teleport, and that gives you your mix-up. So in terms of doing this in his Vortex sense, how Scorpion's Vortex game works, is you land a punish, or a grounded combo, which in this case we'll just do 2-1-4 teleport, 1-2-3 meter burn teleport, run cancel 2-1 spear, jumping punch 2-1 low minion, jumping punch 2-1 teleport, and then we're going to apply one of our mix-ups and then loop back into itself. If I don't drop the combo, because I'm terrible. But you guys get the idea. The point is, we're comboing into the stun and then comboing into the teleport or minion, and then forcing a mix-up afterwards because the opponent can't move quick enough that they can fight this. They have to take the mix-up. They don't have to take the forward 4, but I'll talk about that in just a second. But your general mix-up game is going to come from comboing into teleport and then immediately applying one of your mix-up options, which will be forward 4 or back 3. You want to make sure that you have a built-in combo that you will do every time for both options. This is very, very important to make sure that you're going to maximize your damage. If you're landing a low or an overhead, make sure you're doing at least 30% every time, and then that's like 3 right guesses and your opponent's basically dead. So for example, the way I play Inferno Scorpion is my grounded 1-bar punish will be 2-1-4 teleport, 1-2-3 meter burn teleport, 1 cancel 2-1 spear, jumping punch 2-1 low minion, jumping punch 2-1 teleport, and apply a mix-up. You can always end your combo in, something else. You can just end it in like 2-1 takedown or something, which is always going to do more damage. But if you're playing Scorpion, what is the point of not leaving them standing? You want to leave them guessing something because that's just the best way to continue pressure. So that's my grounded option. My low option will be something like back 3 low minion, forward dash, NJP, close minion, 1 jump kick teleport. So we're going to do back 3 low minion, and then we're going to do jumping punch 2-1 teleport again, overhead option, forward 4 spear, neutral jump punch, minion, and then this is going to be our sort of built-in combo. So every touch is doing 30% damage at least, and that's good. Taking off basically a third of their life off, making them guess one way or the other, is the danger of Scorpion in general, and that's one of the ways you implement his rushdown. But as you can see, that's a combo. If you watch my ranked videos, I do these combos all the time. They're the only ones I do off both the low and the overhead, because that's built into my muscle memory. That's just my low option is a set combo, my overhead option is a set combo. That's basically all there is to it. So that's one of the strengths here. Another strength of Inferno Scorpion is getting the most damage off some of these options. Hellfire can do more damage, but Inferno, I have the luxury of having a second stun in the low minion grab. So when it comes to doing these combos, I just get the luxury of having that one extra thing. So I can go 2-1-4 teleport, 1-2 spear, and instead of doing 2-1 teleport here, I can do jump and punch 2-1 low grab and then do jump and punch 2-1 teleport. I get like an extra 5% damage on each of my touches because I have, I'm able to do jump and punch 2-1 low minion grab or 2-1 spear, depending on which one I used first. And then I can maximize my damage and then lead into 2-1 teleport or 2-1 minion anyway, and then implement my mix-up and get more damage. So that's generally the gist of Scorpion's mix-up game. I mean, I want to keep it nice and simple. Let's talk about how to defend against it. So first things first, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't get hit by specific things if you just do what's called fuzzy guarding. We've talked about fuzzy guarding before. It's when you block basically two mix-ups at once. You block the unreactable direction first, and then block the other direction when you see that that's the attack that's being used. So for example, if I go block mode, always, back 3 low minion, you see people get hit by this all day. They block the back 3 but then get hit by this because they just, they let go of block, they try and move, they try and do something. Either way, they block the back 3 but then get hit by the low minion. The reason I call this the mix-up that isn't a mix-up is because there's no reason you should be getting hit by this. Reason being is because back 3 low minion, after I land the back 3, there is nothing else I can do apart from do back 3-2 forward 2, which is a full string and it ends in an overhead. The reason you see this hit so many people is because they block the back 3 and then immediately stand up because they're waiting for the rest of the string so they can block the overhead at the end. That's why people get hit by back 3 low minion, because they know that this string ends in an overhead, so they immediately stand up after blocking back 3. So I chuck in a second low, and they've basically stood up too early. How you defend against this is you just block low for a little bit longer, and you wait for the string and stand up on reaction to the final piece. You have a million years to see that that is the string that's coming out, so you just block low for just a little bit longer, and then the second you see the second part of this, that's when you stand up, block the string, and then we're back at this neutral state. If you block back 3 low minion, I'm super duper unsafe, and that's one of the benefits of playing Inferno Scorpion though, is that if I'm going to go for an option here, I will almost always do back 3 low minion, because it combos on hit, gives me a full combo as you can see, I get a meatless 30% damage on this, and I can loop you back into teleport. The grab on top of that becomes like 42% damage for that one low option because I've reset it. So because I'm playing as Inferno, I get to do back 3 into something that stuns, which gives me a launcher. If I was in another variation, I would have to do back 3 teleport, I'd have to do back 3 spear, but if I wanted to launch you in other variations, I'd have to commit to this and spend the bar to do so, and be unsafe if you blocked. So when it comes to blocking back 3, just block low for a bit longer than you think you need to, and when you see the rest of the string, stand up. And that's how you defend against back 3 low minion. Punish me for going for the option, and then put the pressure on. Now we're going to talk about his forward 4, the overhead. This is actually very, very slow. If you look at his back 3 is 11 frames, unreactable, very, very quick. However, his forward 4 is 25 frames. This actually, in fine game terms, this takes a long time to start up. You can block that on reaction. So when it comes to fuzzy guarding my mix-up, when I land the teleport, and I'm going to go either back 3 or forward 4, these are the only ones that will combo. My forward 2, which is also overhead, doesn't actually combo. It's much faster, and you can't really react to that. But you block low first, stand up on reaction to this, because if you get hit by this, it doesn't matter. It splats, it does a little bit of damage, but it can't be special cancelled, and you're absolutely fine afterwards. It's always worth blocking low first, and then when you see this, stand up on reaction to it. So if I'm going to put the pressure on, and fuzzy guarding will be against Scorpion, block low first, because you can't react to the back 3, but you can react to the forward 4. So if I'm going to put this mix-up on you, you block low first and stand up when you see that. So if I go for a teleport and then commit, you can punish me for this, and then make me think twice about going for my overhead option. And bear in mind, it's not a true 50-50, because now you're blocking both ways at the same time. You're going to force me to do 2-1 teleport, and then go for the unreactable forward 2, which doesn't do that much damage. It's still more of a 50-50 in that sense when I go for forward 2 or back 3, because you can't react to either one of those. But the odds are much more in your favour of just not taking loads of damage, because my overhead option becomes a 9% splat rather than a full combo that starts from a special cancelable overhead, as you can see here. So just general basic fuzzy guarding is how you beat both back 3 low minion and forward 4 in general. You can react to that normal, so it doesn't have a true 50-50. The final thing I'm going to talk about is gaps. Inferno Scorpion has a lot of gaps, armorable gaps. So if I go block mode always and then go reversal mode on, if I'm going to do 2-1-4, nothing here is safe. You can armor it. Back 3 low minion, armorable. Back 3 overhead minion, armorable. Forward 4 spear, armorable. Forward 4 low minion, armorable. So basically, if you have meter and you see me do this on block, for example, I cannot go for a minion because you will punish me every single time. And bear in mind, if you're fighting someone like Foxy's Kung Lao, he's going to armor you all day. So these mix-up options, they're punishable as they are, but now you can armor them and full combo punish me for even going for a minion. So I now have to do something like 2-1-4 cancel teleport just to be safe. And that's cost all of my stamina as well. So generally the consensus of Inferno Scorpion is up close. I can't really go for any of these on block because you can armor every single option and punish me if you're just fuzzy guarding correctly. And that's basically it. That's all I wanted to sort of cover with Inferno Scorpion. The last thing I'm going to really mention is he has actually got some good full screen presence, because if I see, let's turn him off block. If I see Kettle Khan go for like a projectile from this range, I can meter burn teleport, go for a jump kick, 2-1 spear, jump in 2-1 low, jump in 2-1 minion, and then apply the mix up. He has a really good full screen presence to counter zone, in the sense that meter burn teleport is fantastic at beating a lot of things that whiff from full screen, mostly being projectiles that you can do on reaction. But bear in mind, the tracking on the minion and the tracking on the overhead minion is really, really strong. So if the opponent has no full screen options, throwing out these minions is a really good way to harass them. The second they start making mistakes or trying to trade projectiles, that's when you're ready for it and you meter burn teleport on reaction. So I'm going to harass you from full screen, bait a projectile, see it, react to the teleport, go for a full combo, 2-1 spear, jump and punch 2-1 low minion, jump and punch 2-1 teleport, and then put this mix-up on you. However, if you're blocking that correctly and you're ready for the mix-up, that would become an extremely unsafe option that I'm taking a very large risk to do. And it just becomes of conditioning. If the opponent can't block my stuff correctly, I will abuse it until the cows come home. If they do know how to block, it forces me to do safer mix-ups that do less damage to you but leave me much safer, like 2-1 teleport, forward 2, or 2-1 teleport, back 3-2, forward 2. These options that don't full combo do a little bit of damage but they leave me safe, or just something like 2-1 teleport into a grab. These things that don't hurt you nearly as much but they leave me a lot safer. But the degree of which you play Inferno Scorpion really is dictated by how much your opponent knows about the matchup. That's really all there is to it. And that's that. Hopefully you guys kind of learnt something there. I haven't covered absolutely every single thing with the character, but hopefully I've kind of shed a little bit of light on just the general playstyle for Scorpion, what Inferno specifically is all about. And no doubt, with Mitsuones and ESL Season 2, we're probably going to see a lot more of this kind of extremely reckless play. And, that's just Inferno. Inferno is a very reckless variation. And that's it. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.